Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're just going to talk about WINX Club. Like, we're going to do a whole recap of season 1 because I'm too lazy to do all of the seasons, you know, because that's a bit too much. I don't have time for that. Anyways, like, WINX Club is just iconic. Like, if you didn't watch WINX Club as a child, I don't know what you did with your childhood. Like, it's just iconic. Like, the fashion, the body, the magic, the plot. Seasons 1 to 3 for me is known as the golden ages because, like, after season 3 it just falls off. I won't lie. Like, season 4 was passable, but it's not the same. It's not the same. Like, these times were when things actually mattered, like when the transformations were banging and wasn't questionable, because in season 3 when the WINX got enchantix, like, girl, that changed my life. I honestly mean it when I say that, like, there would be no shows that would capture the magic of WINX Club because it just had a certain aura to it, you know. We're just gonna talk about season 1 of WINX Club retrospectively today because, like, there's certain points in the story I had issues with, and I just want to talk about it now that I am a 20-year-old with somewhat of a brain, you know. So what is WINX Club? WINX Club is a series made by this Italian babe called Straffi. I think that's how you say it. Okay, this show is primarily set in the magical universe where fairies, witches, and other magical creatures exist. The first season is basically about Bloom fighting villains and trying to find out about her past, you know. She's just the main character and such. The show primarily takes place in a magical high school called Alfea. WINX Club has 8 seasons if you don't include World of WINX and, like, the live action show, but, like, who actually includes the live action? Like, I watched the live action show, it wasn't given, like, it was good, but it wasn't WINX, if you get what I mean. Like, if it was its own thing, I feel like it would have done better. Just the expectations attached to it being WINX, like, I think that made it flop, if you get what I mean. Okay, back to the show. WINX Club had, like, 2 English dubs because it's, like, originally in Italian. Okay, when I put clips of the show, I'm gonna put in the 4Kids dub one because, like, that's the one I grew up on, and, like, it's just a better version. I'm not gonna lie, it's just a better version. So let's talk about the dub. Like I said before, 4Kids is the one I grew up with, but allegedly, the right to produce the dub for WINX Club got revoked because they kept on making unnecessary changes to the plot. And I completely understand, because if you watch anime, like, you know that 4Kids is just known for doing unnecessary stuff like that. Like, there's no need for the changes. And I won't harp on 4Kids too much because there's one thing that 4Kids knows how to do right, and it's theme songs. Like, so we got what? Digimon the Squad, Dinosaur King. We got, dare I even say, the One Piece rap.
You need to leave!
I won't lie, that one is banging. So yeah, because it's a 4Kids dub, obviously they made their own theme song for WINX Club. But no, in the WINX Club theme song, it's like when they said, look all you want but don't touch their hair, lives were changed, right? Cannot compete with this. You cannot compete where you don't compare. So while we're talking about 4Kids, let's talk about the unnecessary changes they made to WINX Club. Like, compared to the other seasons, like, season 1 didn't have that much changes. Like, the first change that they made was Techna's accent. For some reason, she's British, and then the other dub, like, she's Canadian or something. Like I don't know why they do this, but, like, in, like, a lot of shows, they make all the smart characters sound British, which is a bit problematic, if I do say so. I listened to the other dub as well, and, like, I won't lie, Techna being British kind of throws me off sometimes. Like,
Joke around, okay, Musa? Hey! Good night, girls. I'm going to switch myself off now.
I don't really know any dance steps. Oh, what a curious-looking remnant of primitive technology.
I will give the other dub that. Like, Techna being British just throws me off. You know what I mean? It's kind of like anytime I hear, like, an American accent in real life, I'm just like, you guys exist? Like, it doesn't sound real to me. Let's talk about another difference that the 4Kids dub made in WINX Club. And this is in the opening scene. Like, this is how you know that 4Kids were off their meds, because why are you changing the first scene of the show? So yeah, let's talk about it. So in the 4Kids dub, it starts out with Blue immediately going to the park where she meets Stella fighting the ogre. Then it goes to the next day where she wakes up in a hurry. Later, Bloom goes and talks to her parents before heading out and running to Mitzi. Then Bloom goes back to find Stella in her home waking up. But in the original, starts with Bloom waking up in a hurry. Then she speaks to her parents. Then she gets shown on her bike, which 4Kids cuts out this whole scene. Then Bloom runs into Mitzi. After that, she goes to the part where she meets Stella. Then Bloom brings Stella home when she faints and Stella wakes up. So to conclude that in the 4Kids dub, it starts with Bloom meeting Stella in the park. Then she goes home. But in the original, it starts with Bloom waking up. Then she meets Stella in the park. I don't understand why they needed to switch that around, but whatever. It doesn't make sense, but whatever. Let's stop talking about the dubs because it's kind of boring. But let's talk about the main 6 and the boys. Okay, so we have Bloom and Sky. So Bloom is basically the main character of the show, and she's kind of like the unofficial leader of WINX Club. So Bloom starts out as a normal girl. Then she finds out that she's a fairy of the dragon flame when she meets up with Stella. Then she finds out she's a princess to the Lost Kingdom. So she's just that girl. She's just that girl. Honestly, I kind of wish that I was Bloom because like Earth is kind of ghetto, and I kind of want to go to Alfea because Earth, what does Earth have? What does Earth have? Bloom, I have no issues with Bloom. Like, Bloom is just okay. Now we have Bloom's boyfriend. He was originally introduced as Brandon, but his name is Sky. So Bloom and Sky is kind of like Barbie and Ken. Like, she has everything, and like he's just there. Like obviously he's a prince and stuff like that. But like, Bloom is a fairy. She's a lost princess to a kingdom. And like her powers literally created the realm. And he's just there. Like, I got you, you're a prince, but you're just there. Like, you can't even do it. What do you do for your kingdom? Like, all you do is just exist and disappoint your father. Like, anyways, other than that, he's just like the Prince Charming type. Like, he's okay. But I cannot lie. His clothes, his outfits in season 2 and 3 kind of eat. I will lie. Okay, so next we have Stella and Brandon. Like, Stella is basically Bloom's day one. Like, without Stella, there would be no story. Stella is the fairy of the shining stone. And like, Bloom and Stella are basically the closest. Like, Stella always has Bloom's back. Like, if Bloom is in danger, Stella is always there. Like, she's the first to say, gang, let's go. I need to save my bestie. Stella is definitely one of my favorites because I love her outgoing personality and her confidence. And she also has one of the funniest lines, like, she's just that girl. Stella's man is Brandon, who was originally introduced as Prince Sky, but like, Brandon is definitely like one of my favorites out of the guys. Actually no, because like Helia exists because like, Helia's my man. Brandon's basically high tier. Like, I love him and Stella's relationship. Like, I think it's so cute. Like, they're just meant for each other, you know what I mean? And as I said before, Brandon was originally introduced as Prince Sky. And like, can I just say, like, Stella got scammed. I think their relationship is cute, but honestly, Stella, you got scammed. Imagine what? Like, you think you're in a relationship with a prince, yeah? But not only that do you find out in a live event that he's not a prince, but he's basically like the prince's butler.
Jesus is
From nobody. How's he gonna buy her purses? Can't even afford one of her outfits. Guys, she got scammed. She's better than me though. Anyway, she got scammed. Justice for Stella. Yeah, that's all I can say. Next we have Flora, and Flora is like the prettiest member of WINX Club. Like, she's such a babe. Flora is sweet. Like, she's just too passive for my liking sometimes. Like I remember that episode, like where she allowed that flower to like mess up Stella's room, and she didn't even do anything about it. Like, she knew what was happening, but she didn't do anything about it because she loves the plants too much. And then she proceeded to act like the victim when Stella called her out rightfully. Like, Flora is such a baby, but she just annoys me sometimes. Flora's man is Helia, and you know how I feel about Helia, but like, he comes in season 2, but so sadly we cannot talk about him. Okay, Musa is the fairy of music, and I'm so sorry, in the 4Kids dub, I cannot take Musa seriously. Like, the black scent that she has is giving me Aquafina vibes. Like, if you know, you know. Like, sometimes I had to pause because some of the rubbish that was coming out of her mouth was too much for me. Anyways, moving on, I prefer Musa with shorter hair. I don't know why they give her long hair in all of the seasons past season 1. It was just unnecessary. And her man is Riven, and their relationship is not given at all. That's all I'm gonna say for now. Techna is the fairy of technology, and I don't have much of an opinion on her, but she's smart. Like, one thing I can say about her is that her barber, whoever is doing her hair, messes her up every single time. That Karen cup that they give her every single episode, even her enchantix is not given. How do you mess up the enchantix? Everyone looks good in the enchantix except her. She don't look good. Like, it's just the haircut, girl. It's either you take that slant off your head, get some proper bangs, or you just keep it long. That's all I can say. And like, girl, I know you're the fairy of technology, but you do not need to talk like a robot. Like, you are not a robot. Stop talking like that. Like, Techna's techno speech or whatever she's doing just gets old very fast. Like, I can't stand like long scenes with her. You know, she just be talking to talk. And Techna's man is Timmy, and all I can say that Timmy is a lame. Timmy is just like the nerd emoji. Like, he's just okay. Like, he can't handle the Techna. I won't lie. Like, he can't handle all that. Like, Techna's too much of a baddie. I won't lie. Like, I don't have much of an opinion on Techna, but she's too much of a baddie for Timmy. You know what I mean? Like, he's just a lame, but like in a cute kind of way. You know what I mean? Okay, I'm gonna talk about Aisha, who's the fairy princess of waves. She joins the gang in season 2, so I'm not gonna talk about her much. But Aisha is also called Layla in another dub, which I never knew why. Like, there are many reasons and theories for this because, like, it was never really cleared up.
One idea, I believe, is that the dubbing companies didn't want to possibly offend Muslim-majority countries. Aisha was the name of one of Prophet Muhammad's wives, so they might not want to receive backlash through that name association. But honestly, we will never know.
Like, it kind of makes sense. Like, I would get that reason. But honestly, that's just a theory, so, like, I don't know. And Aisha's man is Nabu.
Help! My pussy's gone crazy!
I'm like, it's just anti-black what they did to him. What they did to him was wrong. And just very petty. You know what I mean? Like, it hurt my soul. If you know, you know. And I was gonna talk about Roxy. I don't know why. Like, I have down my notes, so I don't know why I'm gonna talk about Roxy. But like, she's just not it. She's not a WINX Club member. She's not a WINX Club member. I just wanted to settle it. She's not a WINX Club member. Like, I don't know who's saying that Roxy deserves to be in the WINX Club, but she does not. She comes in season 4, but like, yeah, I'm not gonna talk about her. She's irrelevant. She's Bloom 2.0. Like, she's just the worst version of Bloom. Like, I'm not gonna talk about her. So now we have the Trix. Like, the Trix is just the main baddies of the show. Like, there other villains will come and go, but the Trix will always be there. Like, so first, yeah, we have Icy. Icy is the baddest. Like, she's the main girl. Like, Elsa wishes she could be Icy. Like, she's just Icy. She's the main girl, the Regina George. Like, I just love her voice. Like, some about her voice is just so evil. You know what I mean?
Mommy.
What? You again?
So cute.
I despise cute.
Next, we have Stormy, who's also kind of, I won't lie, she's kind of irrelevant, you know what I mean? She's underrated and irrelevant for a reason. Like, I don't really like her that much. Like, anytime she pops up, I'm just like, ugh, like, please leave my screen. Like, but like, it's kind of obvious that Icy and Darcy are like closer, and like Stormy's just like there. Like, it's given third wheel. Like, justice for Stormy. But like, yeah, she's kind of annoying. Least favorite girl out of the Trix. Last and certainly not least, we have Darcy, who stole Musa's man. But we'll talk about that later. Okay, so let's start at the beginning. So we start off with Bloom meeting Stella in the park. But who is Bloom? Like, as I said before, Bloom is just a normal girl from Earth with a normal life, you know. You know, she rides a bike, you know, she has parents, you know, she gets bullied. She's also a magical fairy princess from a lost kingdom. Like, she's just like us, y'all. She's just like us. When she meets Stella fighting in the park, she also finds out that she has magical powers, which Stella finds odd because there's supposed to be no magical beings in Earth anyway. So like, Stella is basically like, yeah, you just come to my school with me. And her parents are a bit too relaxed on this because like, you just saw a troll trying to kill your daughter, so you want to send your child to the same realm that had a troll that tried to kill her. Like, are you not thinking? And there are events that happened in the first episode happen in like a day. So like, Bloom's parents find out that there's a different realm with like trolls that attack their house, and they let their daughter, their only daughter, go to that realm in less than a day. You find out your daughter has powers in less than a day. You find out that there's trolls and like other things coming to her. The Trix also show up to this episode. Yeah, the Trix also show up, and they're trying to kill her as well. So you find out there's lots of dangerous things with lots of power, and you want to send your daughter to that realm. Okay, but whatever. Sometimes in life, you know, you just gotta do things for the plot. Like, it's not that deep. So yeah, so now we're in Magix. This is the realm that Stella and Alfea is in. So like, yeah, Bloom basically commits identity fraud to get into Alfea. Like, so like basically this is how it happened. So like the vice headmistresses was like basically like, are you this girl? And after Bloom was like, yeah. After the vice principal was like, okay. Imagine how many people in that school are not who they say they are, because it's so easy to just register into that school. Okay, so now Bloom is a student of Alfea, and she got magic, alright, but it's just trash. Bloom is just straight up doo-doo. You know what I mean? Like, she's just not good at magic. Like, anytime Bloom tried to do magic in this era, like, I'm just so embarrassed. But fortunately for Bloom, she does get better, yeah? And when she transforms for the first time, she beats up the Trix by herself. Like, the Trix should be ashamed. Do better. Do better. Like, how first time you want to beat up the Trix yourself. And like, is the Trix not like seniors at your old age or your big age? You're letting like a freshman beat you up. Okay, cool. She defeats the Trix, yeah? Also, like, unknowingly reveals that she has the power that the Trix are looking for. So, like, yeah, when Bloom was visiting Earth, she told her parents about a vision that she had while in a burning shop. In this vision, she saw her father saving a newborn baby, and Bloom's father, who's also a firefighter, heard a voice leading him to that baby. Her father reveals that baby was her, and that Bloom was adopted. And, like, yeah, so since Bloom arrived to Alfea, like, she's also been hearing voices. This voice has been guiding Bloom out of dangerous situations and has been in Bloom's dreams several times. So like, yeah, in episode 9, it's revealed that the voice that Bloom has been hearing is like the voice of Daphne. So like, Farragonda, like the headmistress, like she hears that Bloom has been having dreams of Daphne. Okay, so she takes Bloom on the astral journey to find out more about her past, and takes Bloom to a cave where Daphne lives. And yeah, as Bloom gets closer to Daphne, Daphne appears in front of her and gives her like a treasure box. I was like, ooh, money! But like, yeah, it's just a crown, you know what I mean? And yeah, when Bloom takes the crown, the astral voyage comes to an end. And because of this situation, Bloom is now determined to learn more about her past. Okay, so let's talk about Bloom and Sky. So Bloom and Sky is like the main couple of the series. Like, they're the vanilla couple, you know what I mean? They lack spiciness compared to other couples. Like, I'm not saying I hate them, I think they're cool. They're cool. Anyways, let's talk about the drama. Literally, one of the first scenes we see later on, like in the series, Bloom and Sky is talking on the phone, and we see Sky have a picture of a girl on his table that is not Bloom. Like, at this point in the series, they're like almost boyfriend and girlfriend, you know what I mean? Like, they haven't said anything, but they're basically in a relationship. So in Red Fountain, this is the school that all the specialists go to, and like they're having an event called the Day of the Royals, and this is where like Sky's parents come in. Like, they're like king and queen, you know what I mean? So like, yeah, like Sky's parents are the special guests of the show. So let's keep in mind, at this point of the show, like they're still referring to Sky as Brandon and Brandon as Sky, and the girls don't know. So they keep this big secret from the girls. How would y'all, like, if a guy told you his name is not his name, like, how would you react? Like, is it a big deal or is it not? Like, they're still the same person, but is it a big deal? So anyways, the girls are pissed because they didn't receive any invites to the event that Sky and Brandon are going to be headlining. So they decided to go anyways because they're just that girls. Like, trespassing laws do not apply to them. So like, yeah, when they're running away from the security guards, they basically, Bloom got separate from the rest of the girls. And like when Bloom is walking along the hall, she sees an important group of people. And like Bloom accidentally bumps into one of the girls. And like Bloom, was it really an accident? Cause like I get you're pissed at Sky, but like you don't need to. Like how did she even bump into her? Like there was a group of people and you bumped into them, but there was all this space along the hall. I just think Bloom wanted some drama. She's pissed and she wanted some drama. Like yeah, Bloom bumps into the girl and the girl's name is Diaspro. And Diaspro, yeah, she had like a pic. I don't know what it's called, like a holographic picture type, locket type thing. And it had like a picture of Sky in it. And after Bloom's like, that's my man. And after like Diaspora's like, what are you talking about? That's my man. You're a fan. And like Diaspora kind of eats her up because like Bloom is feeling it. Bloom is feeling it because like your man is a cheater and you're defending him that much. Bloom, you're already lost. Then she goes and embarrasses herself more. Okay, so Bloom is now convinced that's the Trix trying to mess with Sky, which I don't understand because like at this point, like even the Trix don't know that Sky is Prince Sky, you know what I mean? Like, and what did they even want with him? Like he's a specialist, what did they do? Like what did the specialist actually do? Like it seems like in this world the women do most of the work anyways. If I saw a girl having another picture of my man, I'm gonna assume that he's cheating. Like what are you talking about? Like that's my first assumption. Like Bloom's mental health has actually gone down so badly because like that's how you know the Trix has really gotten into Bloom's head. Because like how is there any inconvenience in Bloom's life is automatically, oh yeah, the Trix is trying to mess with me. Like that's how badly that the Trix has gotten into Bloom's head. Is that bad? Pray for Bloom, y'all. Later on, yeah, Bloom picks a fight with Diaspro, but she still thinks that it's the Trix messing with her. So like, yeah, Bloom picks a fight with her in front of the whole audience. Everyone can see Diaspro and her picking a fight. Like they're fighting. Like it's not even like a pulling a hair situation. They're fighting. Like okay, so Sky's dad, yeah, who is the prince, basically commands Brandon to like know like what the hell is going on. And after that's when Stella, who was like peeking through like a hole or something, finds out that Brandon is not Prince. He's not a prince. He's just a common squire who has no money. He even had his tuition paid by Sky's parents. Like, is that serious? Like, Stella, Brandon is actually so lucky that Stella is not as superficial as she looks. Because, like, that relationship would have been over then and there. Okay, so Bloom and Jasper is like still fighting, yeah? And Jasper like basically announces that Sky is her fiance and what is she doing? That's when Bloom realizes that her man is a harlot. Just romancing every girl at school when you have a whole fiance at your house. Waiting for you, loving you. After this event happened, Bloom is so embarrassed that she tells the girls, I'm gonna leave Alfea. So like yeah, she sneaks out of Alfea like by herself without telling anyone goodbye, and like goes back to the human world. After the Trix is expelled in episode 16, they got expelled because like basically like they released a monster in Alfea, and like even like the headmistress of Alfea had to deal with him. Yeah, it's basically embarrassment to the Cloud Tower. So like yeah, the headmistress of Cloud Tower was basically like, girls, you need to leave. You've done too much this time. You need to leave. So like yeah, like the Trix are basically like jobless now. So like they basically follow Bloom into the human realm and proceed to attack Bloom's parents and Bloom. The Trix were revealed to be one of the descendants of the ancestral witches who centuries before destroyed the world of Domino while trying to capture the power of the Dragon Flame. The power of the Dragon Flame is the power that resides in Bloom, and the ancestral witches almost won, and Daphne, who's revealed to be Bloom's older sister, protected Bloom. So like yeah, the ancestral witches basically had to kill Daphne. The drama, the family drama. Oh my god, this is literally like the battle of the descendants. So like before like they killed Daphne, yeah, Daphne saves Bloom by sending her to an unknown location like far from Domino, which was Earth by the way. So like after all this exposition and stuff like that, Trix end up taking Bloom's power. Like yeah, Bloom cannot use magic anymore. So like yeah, the Trix leave and stuff like that, and like when it seems like all hope is lost, like Stella, the only WINX Club member, comes and helps Bloom. Like she takes Bloom back to Alfea. Bloom, if there was no Stella in that group, Bloom would have been left in Earth with no power and Alfea would have been finished. Stella came to Earth even though Farragonda told her you're not allowed to leave Alfea. Like That's why I say Stella is a ride or die. It's like Stella and Bloom return to Alfea, yeah? And they also tell like Farragonda, who's the head mistress of Alfea, the situation. Oh, Farragonda, yeah? Bin knew about Bloom's past and decided not to tell her anything. Farragonda just loves the drama because like, if Farragonda decided to like just open her mouth and tell Bloom about her past, like half of the show would not happen. She just loves the drama. Like, she's just like me. Like, she just loves the drama. Let's go back to Cloud Tower. This is the school where all the witches live. And this is the Trix's ex-school. So, like, the Trix are petty now because, like, Griffin, who's the headmistress of Cloud Tower, like, expelled them. So they use the power of the Dragon Flame to beat Griffin and, like, imprison her and all the students. So, like, yeah, they take over the school, yeah? And I'm very disappointed by how weak Griffin is. Like, I would expect her to have so much more power, you know. I know that she's a bit old, but she's not that old, you know what I mean? Like, I was just very disappointed. Like, it just took her like what, 1-2 shots and after she's already done. Like, come on now, come on. So not only did the Trix like capture and like beat up Griffin, they take her main seat in the hall. The disrespect, like the honest disrespect. Like, it's like, yeah, when they take their seats on their thrones, they announced they're gonna bring back the army of darkness. And after Griffin was like, oh my god, you can't do that, you don't have enough power. But like the girl's like, yeah, I have the dragon flame. It's like, yeah, Griffin's like, oh my god. It's like Icy was like, send them to the dungeon. It's like, yes, Icy sends Griffin and all her students to the dungeon. Okay, so back in Alfea, Bloom was feeling like she put all the students of Alfea in danger because like she let the Trix get her power. And like, Bloom, I won't lie, it is your fault. Didn't Farragonda put you on house arrest basically? She told you you guys are in detention, you're not allowed to leave, and you left anyways because of something that you did. Like, time would have passed and everyone would have forgot that the embarrassing mistake that you did. Like, anyways, like, Sky should be more embarrassed because he's been cheating on his fiance. Like, it's not that serious, girl. You're a victim. So yeah, Bloom is now planning to go back to the Cloud Tower to retrieve her power from the Trix. And like, Riven being let's talk about Riven in a second. Riven, being a snitch he is, goes to Darcy to tell her that Bloom is coming to you. So like, yeah, Riven rides his Wind Rider to Cloud Tower and up to Griffin's office where Darcy is waiting for him. He enters the window and asks them when Griffin permitted them entry into her office. Stormy answered that and that they actually sees him from her. And Riven, like, he doesn't understand what's going on. He's like, what the hell is going on? What do you mean you sees it from Griffin? It's like, yeah, the Trix now surrounds Riven. I'm like, oh yeah, thank you for all the things you've done for us and stuff like that. And like, Riven's like, oh my god, was I just a troll for you? Like, and he was like pleading to Darcy. You're like, oh my god, babe, please, look on, please, Pookie. After like, yeah, Darcy was like, yeah, we're over, and they lock him in the dungeon. So okay, so like, while we're talking about Darcy portraying Riven, let's talk about the relationship, the triangle between Riven, Musa, and Darcy. Like, it's barely a triangle, more like Musa kind of be thirsty and Riven and Darcy having a relationship. So like, yeah, let's talk about that.
Jesus is Lord!
We see the first hints of Riven's and Musa's relationship in episode 4, if you can even call it a hint. It's more like Riven giving off negative energy and Musa falling for that.
Was more like an emergency landing.
What happened? Pilot's Ed get a little out of control.
Because Riven did not seem interested at all. Like, I guess Musa loves her boys with major anger issues and hard to get because, like, basically the next episode, she's desperate for Riven's approval. She really wants him to ask her out. Like, literally next episode, did they even have a conversation in the first place? Anyways, so everything goes down in episode 8. This is when, like, Darcy enters the mix. So, like, yeah, Darcy, like, heals Riven after he fell off his motorbike. And, like, Darcy is kind of like the Trix's fault that he fell off the motorbike, but like, yeah, let's not focus on that. But even before that, Riven was aggressively flirting with Bloom. Like, he thought that Bloom wanted him. Like, Bloom has standards. I won't like, Bloom's not her friend. She has standards. And like, so like, yeah, Bloom went off on him. It started his whole character. Like, Riven was mad after that. And like while he was aggressively flirting with Bloom, Musa was there.
So who's gonna be rooting for you, Riven? Bloom's rooting for Brandon, Stella's rooting for me. Where's your cheerleader?
I don't need one, dude. Unlike you. Relax, Riven. Trust me, if I actually wanted one of these Alfea pixies, I could have my pick of the whole litter, and both of you know it. This is dumb. In fact, a certain someone's been giving me the eye. Isn't that right, Bloom?
What? The only eye I'd give you is I don't think so.
Right.
What is with you? Hey, I think I know who I like, and trust me, I don't go for the whole jerk thing. I still can't figure out why Musa's got a crush on you. You're a totally conceited, totally cocky, totally boring waste of good oxygen. I'm sorry, but guys like you give guys a bad name, Riven.
Musa's right there. She's standing right there. She's seeing what's happening. Bro, what is there to like? So like, yeah, the next day, Stella like basically like teases Musa about what is going on between like Riven and Darcy, because like now Riven and Darcy is like seeing each other. Musa like heads up to like the main town. Musa basically walks by a cafe where like this is where all the witches hang out. So like fairies are not allowed in this spot. So Musa knew what she was doing. So like she basically sees Riven and Darcy on a date, and after Icy catches her spying on them, because like why are you spying on them? Like Riven never showed interest in you in the first place. So like Icy was like basically, you're a creep, what are you doing? Musa stops Icy. And Icy's like, what the hell? And after Icy sets all her lackeys, like, you know, all the other witches to like fight Musa. Because what are you doing, Musa? You're looking for trouble. So like basically Musa asks Riven for help. And like Riven was like, no, I'm sticking with my girl. I'm just like, yeah, why would Riven help you? You guys don't... He's not your man. He's never been your man. He's just a guy you like. You like, he does not like you, Musa. He never did. So luckily, before like Musa got bet up by all the witches around her, like all the other specialists, and like I think Bloom was there to help Musa out of the situation. Okay, so also I do have to mention that Darcy kind of put Riven under a spell. I do have to mention that, but like it was gonna happen eventually, you know what I mean? Like Darcy was just being a queen and speeding up the process as she saw. Like she's just speeding up the process, guys. Like it was gonna happen anyways. Like if Musa could do it, she would do it. So what can I say? From then on in this series, like Riven becomes basically Darcy's personal snitch. Like anything that happens with Bloom, he comes to her and snitch. We don't stand Riven at this point in time. Like he's just like a hater. He's always hating on everyone. His hating has even went so far to like mess with the dragons on the like Day of the Royals. And, like he almost killed his team. It's like, bro, was the coup that good? Like, why are you acting that way? Like, damn. So like, yeah, that whole situation with like the Trix locking up Riven in the dungeon happens. And like after like Riven escapes the dungeon, he's basically like all apologetic. Like he does like not a 360 with his personality, but like let's see like a 90 degrees. Like, you know, he's a lot nicer now, you know what I mean? When he escapes Cloud Tower, he even meets up with Musa and even apologizes to her. They're kind of cute, but like, I think Darcy and him was meant to be with each other. Darcy's just too much of a girl boss to be with a man, you know what I mean? Like, I'm so sorry, but like the coup must have been good, because the way he was so distraught when Darcy betrayed him, it was, oh my god, that was the most emotion I felt from Riven the whole series. Okay, that's all I have to say about the love triangle. Let's get back to the main plot. Okay, so to recap, so we have Riven in the dungeon. We have all the students of Cloud Tower and the headmistress in the dungeon, and the Trix have just released the army of the undead. So like, yeah, now like the WINX Club, yeah, they basically want to go to Domino. This is where Bloom came from, her home country, her kingdom. They're basically gonna travel to that place, and like Domino is like covered in ice and snow. Like the ancestral witches like messed it up badly. So like, yeah, Farragonda allows them to go to the realm of Domino. So like, meanwhile, yeah, Red Fountain, the school that the specialists go to, is destroyed. And can I just say, the background characters of Red Fountain is atrocious. They look ugly. They look ugly. Like the background characters of the students of Alfea, yeah, they're so pretty. They have the best outfits on. Like the animators did their job on it. They did a job. And like the Cloud Tower residents, they look goofy. Their haircuts are always like randomly generated. Like it's so bad. There's nothing to look at. I'm like, there's no background character. I'm like, ooh, yummy. Like, no, like what the hell? Messed up my vibe. Okay, so anyways, the girls like they arrive in Domino, yeah. And like it's cold and they find a castle and Daphne's just like chilling in there, you know what I mean? So like after sending Bloom to Earth safely, Daphne tries to fight back the witches, but like she died that day. So like the king and queen of Domino were devastated and thinking that they lost their 2 daughters, they had to go into exile to grieve. So the tea is that Bloom's parents are still alive. What have they been doing? Obviously they're like hiding, you know what I mean? But like what is there to hide from? The ancestral witches are dead. Daphne's like, the power of the dragon flame is still within you, and the gang head up back to Alfea. It's like, yeah, while heading back to Alfea, they're still on the aircraft. And like Bloom and Sky is like talking and stuff like that. Yeah, I forgot to mention that Sky is also here. Like he's also irrelevant. Why is he coming anyways? Like he has no special powers. Like why are you here? Anyways, it's like yeah, Bloom and Sky they go further away from the group because they want to talk. So like yeah, Sky like apologized for like lying basically. So like yeah, him and Diaspora are no longer like fiancés and stuff like that. And like he broke it off and like he didn't care about her anyways. So, like if you could break it off that easily, why were you engaged in the first place? And also, if you never cared about her, why do you have a picture of her in your room? Like, who's forcing you? Like, that's why I don't believe Sky when he said he don't care about her. Because who's forcing you to put a picture of her in your room? All your roommates, other than Brandon, did not know that you're a prince, so why do that in the first place? Like, it's just making unnecessary conflict and necessary questions for you to have. You obviously gave her, you care about her some bit, you know what I mean? Arranged or not, like, Bloom was still the side chick at the end of the day. So let me just not start. So like Stella, Brandon, Bloom, Sky decide to go back to Cloud Tower to like get the dragon flame. I mean stop Icy's, Darcy and Stormy. So like this is where they meet Riven in Cloud Tower. Like Riven escapes with the help of Griffin. And Riven is like heartbroken because of what Darcy did to him. Knowing Riven's personality, he would definitely have gone down the red pill hole. You know what I mean? Like he would have been talking about, oh, Sigma this, Sigma that, oh, 50-50 in relationships, you know what I mean? He would have like served his Lord and Savior Sneeko, you know what I mean? But luckily he didn't go that route, you know? Eventually he did apologize to Musa when they all do make it back. Eventually Griffin and all her students escape the dungeon. When they're all leaving the Cloud Tower, yeah, basically Bloom and Sky and the rest of the gang get separated. So Bloom and Sky is now in the forest now. So like they stay the night in the woods. No jiggy happening, you know, no funny business. It's like you just stay the night in the woods. And in the morning, the Bloom and Sky, they split up. Sky like walks towards like the main town, and like he sees in the main town like it's deserted. I'm thinking like what's going on? Why is it deserted? After basically all the civilians, yeah, are like mummified. Basically, just like bro, I would have nightmare. It was just horrifying. It was horrifying. It was terrifying. Like it was so bad. I don't even know how they got away with putting that in the kids show because like they look dead. So like yeah, meanwhile Bloom is like being guided by Daphne's voice to go into a lake. Yeah, Daphne, yeah, she rekindles like the little fire power that's still in Bloom's body. And after like Bloom gets all her powers back, I'm just like thinking that it was too fast. It was too fast. And Bloom got a whole dragon too with her now. I'm just thinking like what happens to trials and tribulations? Like what happened to stakes? You know what I mean? Like okay, let me just stop. Basically like yeah, but Bloom did have her powers gone for a while. Like it was probably like what was it, 6 episodes, 7 episodes? Yeah, it was gone for a while, I won't lie. But like yeah, I feel like they should have spent like at least 2 episodes like making Bloom get her powers back, like working for her powers back, like. But then again, them 2 episodes would have been boring because I won't lie, Bloom is kind of boring to be around. Like an episode with Stella, I would be entertained. Episode with Bloom, no, I wouldn't. I would have skipped it. But like it would have been needed, but I would have skipped it. You know what I mean? I'm not in for that. It was kind of like Bloom head into the lake, head out of the lake, gets her power back that quickly. She didn't work for it at all. Like whatever, you know what I mean? It's not that easy. Okay, so Bloom has her power back, and like the Trix are now marching to Alfea for their final attack. And like they're like marching out on like thrones, and these thrones are so slow. Like the Trix are here for the drama, you know what I mean? They're doing it in style. I see so dramatic the way she's insisting that they have to go on these thrones, because like it's way faster for them to like just fly, you know what I mean? It's so slow. So like yeah, back at Alfea, Griffin is feeling very guilty for letting the Trix get this far. Like she's like, oh, I should have checked their registration properly. Like she found it weird that their parents never came for events. I'm just like, yeah, all the schools in this realm, yeah, have a problem with just being able to register so easily. Like they didn't have nothing. I didn't find that suspicious at all. No background checks at all. So like yeah, the Trix have a rider Alfea now. They're all fighting. So like yeah, Farragon and Griffin, they basically beat up Darcy and Stormy. They captured them as well. So like now it's Icy and Bloom. They fighting. So Icy is basically talking all her shit, and after Bloom she basically put Bloom in an ice cage type thing. After like Icy's like, I dare you to break out of this, and guess what Bloom does? She breaks out of it. So like yeah, they fighting, and Bloom beats her ass. What more can I say? I'm not surprised. Yeah, Evo loses, Good wins. Like yeah, Bloom beats Icy, and after Farragonda and Griffin beats up Stormy and Darcy. So like all of three of them, I think Farragonda, she sends them to what? A spa retreat in the lake Daphne's in. It's like yeah, for their prison treatment, they get spa. You know what? Yeah, I should take over the kingdom. If that was my punishment, then what's the problem? Like, I get good food, I get good treatment. What's the point of doing anything? So like, yeah, lucky on them, you know what I mean? They get their toes treated and stuff like that. So like, yeah, the Trix basically get no punishment. And the girls, they have prom and stuff like that. So like, yeah, Brandon and Stella are okay now. And that's the end of the story. Bro. This is gonna be a long video, y'all. Just gonna be I'm gonna be tired by the end of this. But I don't think I talked about Martin and Lucy. I'm not gonna talk about Martin and Lucy. Their plot is very irrelevant. Like basically she gets turned into a pumpkin. She gets bullied, then turned into a pumpkin, and after like Flora turns her back into a human. That's it. And after like okay, so like Myrta, she's a witch. This brings into question, what's the difference between a witch and a fairy? She's a witch in Cloud Tower. She was like, oh, I'm a good witch and stuff like that. She gets turned into a pumpkin. Flora turns her back into a witch. And after like, she's like, oh, I'm gonna transfer to Alfea because I want to be a good person. Like, what's the difference between a witch and a fairy? If you can just transfer, do you just choose? So like, people just choose to be bad and go to Cloud Tower then? Like, what the hell? What's the difference? Anyways, that was my recap of season 1 of WINX Club. Thank you. If you like it, like. This is a lot of talking, so I need you guys to subscribe and like. Please, this is like tax. Please subscribe and like. Thank you. Bye.